democracy is not a sprint race. It's a marathon, it's a journey. The fact that as a nation, Nigeria as a nation since 1999, since the emergence of the Fourth Republic, has remained very consistent, in deepening democratic values, conducting election and getting better at every election, even when clearly the world didn't even give us a chance. If you recall, there are many agitating moments. First was even the first 4 years of President Olusegun Obasanjo and the election, the second tenure. Many people didn't give it a chance, And then the first transition of civilian to civilian democracy, which was, I think, in 2007, when President Olusegun Obasanjo handed over again another democratic election to late President Yar'Adua. It was a very agitating moment. But we also recall that when President Yar'Adua took ill and died in office, I think in 2010, it was also another very, very agitating moment in the history of our country. We survived it. President Goodluck Jonathan, who was the vice president, emerged, and another cycle of election in 2011. President Jonathan won election. 2015, of course, if you recall, it was an election that coincided with prediction, if you like, which many Nigerians, it wasn't even a prediction, it was a scenario that many developed countries do. They look at geopolitical regions and look at countries and do permutations and simulations, and come up with scenario and say, A, B, C, it happened, this may likely happen. And that scenario building by a think tank group in the US coincided with 2015 election, and many predicted that it was going to be the end of Nigeria. That didn't happen. Nigeria conducted election, and for the first time, and perhaps in the history of many African countries, there was a peaceful transition, and the first time that a sitting president will lose an election and democratically even put a call to his successor, the person who defeated him. It was unprecedented, that happened. And again, President Muhammad Buhari emerged, he did his 8 years, 2019 election, 2023. All the processes leading to the general election in all the political parties and the general election itself. President, again, candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Kashim Shettima emerged as president and vice presidential candidate. And in a keenly contested election, they won convincingly against other top contender, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and Mr. Peter Obi, former governor of Anambra State. So, for me, Nigerian democracy is, you may think is just 25 years ago, it has come of age. There are things that the world didn't give us a chance. Even some Nigerians we didn't give ourselves that chance. But it has happened, it has come to pass. Because because of the sensitivity of our politics and dynamics and diversity, even the 2023 election, the Muslim ticket and all of was also an issue, and some people thought that if this happened, what? Thank God we have a president and commander-in-chief who emerged in a free and fair election and has been focused on the renewable agenda. So for me, it's been a great journey. You look at the trajectory of both the president and the vice president. The president and commander-in-chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, was a former senator, was a governor, the leader of party, and president. So you can safely say that he's somebody who is well experienced in Nigerian politics, both at the subnational level, but at the national level, both at the executive level and now at the legislative level and now at the executive level. Ditto the vice president, Kashim Shettima, who was governor of Borno, and then senator and now president. And I mean, the record is there for both the president and the vice president. The history of Lagos, modern Lagos, is impossible without President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He was the one who set Lagos on the path of growth and been consistent, not both in terms of the politics, but also in mentoring and ensuring that there is a trajectory, there is a development, in terms of the baton in the race, somebody leaving for. So in Lagos, every other person who becomes something has always been part of the Lagos politics since 1999 or even before, and that also translating to the national stage now. Ditto the vice president in Borno State. So I mean, we are lucky as a country to have a president and commander-in-chief and vice president who know what is required, what it takes to lead a diverse nation like Nigeria. And you can see clearly in his approach to leadership. First, a modern leader leading a complex nation like Nigeria must be courageous in taking decisions, and he's been from the day one. He wants to take decision on fuel subsidy. He didn't wait 1 minute. He didn't wait to get into the villa. He knew from day one he wanted to take this decision. And when people talk about it, I said, tell me any presidential candidate who didn't talk about removing fuel subsidy. They didn't say when they would do it. They didn't say perhaps it will be at their inauguration, but they all said that. Presidential candidate Peter Obi did say that in his campaign. Former Vice President Atiku did say the same thing. So it was very, very clear that whoever would have gotten that will have taken this decision. But perhaps none will have been as courageous, as determined as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to say, day one at the inauguration, I'm removing subsidy and not going back, and saying that yes, there will be challenges and then something is being done. What is also very unique about his style of leadership is that it's very difficult to find leaders who own up that there are challenges. They just want to say no, but you say yes, we are taking this decision. There will be occasional challenges, but he's very determined and is very sure that solutions are going to work towards finding lasting solution to it. So I mean, we should congratulate ourselves as a nation, especially now in what is happening to the renaissance and the challenge to democracy on the continent of Africa, particularly the sub-region. In the last 5 years, there have been resurgence of military intervention on the West African sub-region, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Guinea, and all over. I think Equatorial Guinea and several other countries like that. So Nigeria has always continued to play a leading role, and I'm glad that Nigeria remain playing that role in deepening its own democracy and remaining as an example to other parts of other countries, the African countries and around.